Hey everyone, I'm Drew Alfonso, a program manager on our Google for Education team, and we're here today at our YouTube headquarters to talk all about the first ever Google PD Week. This is a time where educators are getting connected to resources, connecting with each other, all in the hopes of getting certified with our programs. And I'm here with Tom Sayer, who's the head of our Education Professional Development Programs, to give us the scoop on everything Google PD Week. So first, let's start with talking about how did this idea even come about?
Well, over the last couple of years, we've spoken to teachers and asked them how we can help them as they go about trying to integrate technology into their instruction. And on the back of that, we've created all sorts of resources and programs with the aim of providing that help. But when we go to schools, there's still, teachers say that they still need that same help, and they're not aware of everything that's already created, all of these free resources that are out there. And so as teachers kind of go into their summer and they start to think about the professional development that they're going to do, we wanted to just kind of get the word out, hey, these things are out there, please take advantage of them. So it's that, but it's also just to recognize teachers for doing that in the first place. Like, they're going on their summer, they've had a really hard year, they've got like some well-deserved time, but lots of them are still going to go and do some professional development, and that's just amazing that they would take their own time to do that. So we also wanted to recognize that.
Definitely. And you know, this is the first time we're doing something like this, so what has been the initial feedback from the educator community?
It's been really good. It's a little scary because normally when we do professional development, we're in person and we can feed off the energy of the teachers in person. This is largely online, and so there's people out there in internet land who are watching, and so it's hard to gauge the feedback. But the response on Twitter and the engagement with the webinar yesterday, and so yeah, so far so good. So far, a little scary, but good.
Yeah. And from our team's perspective, why are we doing this type of work, and why is it important?
So Google's a technology company. We create Chromebooks, we create G Suite, Google Classroom, etc. But we know, and teachers know, and schools know, that technology in itself is useless. Just throwing Chromebooks at a school isn't going to help. It's when technology is used by empowered educators that learning can really improve. And so we want to play even whatever part we can play in that. And so by providing professional development resources to teachers as they go about integrating technology in their instruction, we hope that the things we create will have more of an impact.
And you have a pretty impressive background in education as well too. So talk to, and so what are some of the key principles that you think are important when approaching professional development?
I think about it, and the team thinks about it in the same way as teachers think about instruction in the classroom. A lot of the same principles apply. So specifically, we think about personalization, relevancy, and engagement. So on the personalization side of it, every teacher is different. Just like every student is different, every teacher is different. And so we want our professional development to be tailored as much as possible to each individual teacher's uniqueness. On the relevancy side, we don't want to create professional development that's like, hey, learn how to push this button on our product. Like, that's not relevant to a teacher. How can we create professional development that resonates with them and the challenges they're facing in the classroom, and so really connecting it to that classroom use. And then finally, engagement. Like, it wants to be fun. These teachers are going on their summer holidays. And just like they want their children and students to be having fun in their classroom, like, teachers should be able to have fun when they're learning as well.
And kind of curious, what's an accomplishment that you're really proud of the team for leading as it relates to the PD programs?
Teachers are really short on time. That's something that everybody agrees on. Like, they need more time in their day. And so we're very conscious of not wasting teachers' time. And it's always a little bit of a worry, like, are the things we're creating valuable enough to take teachers' time up? And so this year, a number of districts, quite a few districts are actually certified as Google Certified Educators. And when a whole district is prepared to say, like, we want our teachers to spend their valuable time doing this, it makes us feel like, hey, we're creating something that's actually appreciated. So yeah, we're proud of that.
Awesome, that's good work. And before we go, are there any last thoughts that you want to share before we kick it off to talk more about our other PD programs or other resources that you want to highlight?
No, I want to get it over to the to speak to the actual like, the people who are in these programs.
Right.
One thing we have just launched though is a digital citizenship and safety course. It's on the training center, and it's a challenge, obviously, bringing technology into the classroom. There's the whole challenge of supporting the teacher's instruction, but then there's the whole challenge of all of a sudden students have access to this technology.
Right.
So we have an online training course for teachers, as well as curriculum and lots of resources associated with the Be Internet Awesome campaign is what it's called.
Yeah.
So that's on the training center now, and hopefully something that teachers will value as they go into the new year.
Yeah, definitely a great resource, and something that comes up quite a bit. So Tom, thanks for helping us kick off our fireside chat on Google PD Week. So before we move forward and talk to our program leads and our educators and trainers that are here with us today, make sure you follow the hashtag Google PD Week for what we're covering today, and also check out google.com/edu to stay connected to the latest and the resources we'll also be covering today. So for the next hour, as we mentioned, we're going to check in with our program leads and some of our educators and certified trainers on the work that they're leading with our various PD programs. And we'll dive more into that to get some of their insights and to also learn about the impact that they've seen with the programs that we have today. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Wes and Kate, one of our certified educators, and have them talk a little bit more about our certification programs. So Wes, I'll hand it over to you guys.
Thanks so much, Drea. I'm excited to be here and excited to be sharing with you guys. My name is Wes French. I'm a program manager here at Google for the Google Certified Educators program. And this is a program that is designed for anyone and every teacher who is interested in using Google tools in the classroom. The program itself includes online training through our training center, as well as certifications for teachers who feel that they are ready to prove their mastery with Google tools and go for a level 1 or level 2 badge. I'm joined here today, though, by Kate. And Kate Tolnai is an academic technology specialist at Santa Clara County Office of Education. She brings 10 years of experience to Santa Clara in the classroom, and also 5 years as a tech coach and as a district at both the district and the county level. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
And Kate's here to answer a few questions, but also talk about how the Certified Educator program has had an impact on her, the beginning of her journey through Google's PD program. So I want to kick it off with some questions from Kate, and then we'll take some questions from you guys and wrap up with a little bit more about the program. So Kate, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Yeah. I guess for the people tuning in out there, tell them a little bit about what motivated you, what made you want to become a Google Certified Educator, and why that was important to you.
Well, I had seen so much kind of magic come out of using the Google Apps with my students in the classroom, and when I stepped into the role of a teacher on special assignment at a small school district, I realized that earning my certification could actually really help tell my story as a professional, and so that's why I pursued it, and it certainly has. Awesome,
very cool. I guess a little further then, when you think about going through the Certified Educator program, there's the training center to go through, certification at the end if you're so inclined, and then you're finished with the programming in a technical sense. But can you talk a little bit about the impact that this has had on your network and your role, and how it's kind of changed your day-to-day?
Mm-hmm. I think the certification has helped carve out my role as a resource on a larger level. So people start to see me as somebody who they can turn to ask questions, or maybe somebody that that can provide answers to questions that they have. But really, it's also helped me be a cheerleader for Google, and to get more people to just consider how to integrate technology with purpose and with best practice in mind.
Awesome, very cool. So you went through the trainings, you went to the training center, you got certified level 1 and level 2. Anything that you learned in the trainings that maybe you didn't know going into them? If so, maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as a classroom teacher of history and English, there's obviously some apps that I'm drawn to more than others,
sure,
a little bit naturally.
Yeah.
And what the level 1 and level 2 assessments and all the resources in the training center did was really encourage me to look at the G Suite as a whole, and entertain some of these other apps and think about ways that I could use them. So, for example, learning how to use canned responses in Gmail is like a huge productivity tool helper when I was
sure,
when I moved into this role as tech coach, and just learning little things about sheets and pivot tables, little things like that I just wouldn't have naturally figured out on my own. So that was really helpful. And then at the end of the day, for me, it helped me stand a little taller and be a little bit more confident, because as I went through the resources, I realized, oh, I actually know what I'm doing. I actually kind of have this dialed in. So it felt good.
Yeah, awesome, very cool. So I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who are maybe going through our trainings right now, or are going to this summer possibly be getting certified and joining the program. Can you share any tips for those people that are maybe out there studying for the certifications or going through the trainings? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, well, first of all, the training center is full of really amazing resources. So I would say jump into that training center, and each lesson, the units are broken down into lessons, and each lesson has some questions that you can answer at the end. And so what I did is I actually went to those questions first and used it as a pre-assessment. And then based on like how I did on those questions, I would then dive into the content there. So just trying to be really efficient with my time and also purposeful with my preparation. The other thing to note is that the assessments are scenario-based. And that was exciting for me because it encouraged me to take a deep breath and trust my instinct. Because as a practitioner and as a user of the G Suite tools, like I said, I began to trust myself and trust my gut. And so I would say, take a deep breath and trust yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I know that the Certified Educator program is often kind of a springboard for other programs, that PD programs that Google offers, but a lot of people start here and join the Certified Educators program first. So everyone kind of has their own journey, but I thought yours was particularly awesome. So I wanted you to maybe share a little bit with everyone about how everything started here with the Certified Educators program and how that grew for you and your own professional development and your own role within your county.
Yeah, so like you guys know, level 1 and level 2 certified. I was then able to attend the Innovator Academy in Austin in 2014. And last year actually earned my certification as a Google trainer.
Awesome.
So I fell in love with the process and with the resources in the community, and I just kept going and formalizing my experience. Now what's exciting is that the 3 of us on our team at the county office are all certified trainers, and we're very committed to taking the information that's available in the training center and packaging it in a way that makes it accessible and exciting for the teachers throughout our county, really throughout the state and beyond. So we have micro-credentials for each of the G Suite tools that are included in the level 1 certification, and we just celebrate. We just celebrate our teachers like crazy and encourage them to earn their certification and celebrate themselves.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Kate, so much for joining us. So yes, the Google Certified Educators program includes that training center with all of our online content, which is free for anyone to use, and also includes membership in the program. Involves going through our certification. So if you're out there this summer thinking about getting certified, definitely go to g.co/edu training center to visit all of our content and to register for an exam. And Drea will speak to this later in the programming, but we have some promotions going on right now to get your certification at a discounted price. So stay tuned for that. And now we're going to turn it back over to Tom and Drea to hear a little bit more about some of our additional programs. Thanks, guys.
Wes and Kate, thank you for sharing those thoughts on our certified educator programs. And again, for those that are on the Hangout or joining with us live, if you have any questions, make sure you pop that into the window chat, again, for questions on our certified educator program and other areas that we'll be covering today. So we're going to switch gears a bit and talk more about our Google Educator groups. And these are some great online communities where teachers are collaborating virtually and also sharing ideas on things like lesson plans. So to talk about that, I'll hand it over to Jenny, who's with 3 of our Google Educator group leaders, to learn more about the efforts they're leading with our GEGs. Jenny, take it away.
Thanks, Drea. I am here to talk about Google Educator groups, and I'm here with Rick Burke, Melissa Alderman, and Lorraine De La Torre, who are GEG leaders for GEG Steinbeck Country. Rick, Melissa, and Lorraine all come from Santa Rita Union School District, where Rick is the district coordinator of educational technology, Melissa is the director of curriculum and instruction, and Lorraine is a district technology coach. So, Rick, For those educators who are interested in starting a GEG chapter, can you tell us a little bit about the process you went through?
I sure can. First of all, I'll tell you that it is a process. And we work in educational technology, Lorraine and I, and one of our goals in educational technology is to actually drive the educational instruction for the district. Well, with that goal in mind, we wanted to, I should back up and say also that we were one of the first early adopters of Google technology in our district. We're now rolling into our 4th year. We have one-to-one devices, Chromebooks, from TK all the way through 8th grade. With that in mind, I guess it was a little bit over a year ago that we wanted to bring more knowledge of our existing Google technology into our district. So what we did was, my colleague and I, we went out and we attended a Google boot camp. That really started the whole ball rolling for us. And from there we found out actually about the Google education groups, and that was our first sort of exposure to them. We got a little bit of a start from the company that actually sponsors the boot camps. They helped assist us with our application. We applied in May of 2016. Since then, we went ahead and we've done some training, Google Certified Educator training through our cadre. We even hosted an ed tech team boot camp in our district. I guess it was about January that we got a call from Google, and they wanted to follow up and find out where we wanted to go with our Google education group. So we interviewed over the phone. We told them some of the ideas that we wanted to do with our Google education group, and a few weeks later we went out and we found out that we had been approved. So it was fantastic. From there we created a brand of ours. You've got to create your logo. You probably see it in the banner behind me here. And we started plotting, a direction where we wanted to go with our Google education group, and how we wanted to bring in other educators, not just our own in Santa Rita, but our surrounding districts and our surrounding counties. Our Google education group covers Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties. So it's really been a process, and we have really enjoyed the ride. And my colleague's going to tell you a little bit more about where we're going with it.
Great. Well, congratulations on your new chapter. And Lorraine, did you want to talk about what you guys have coming up?
Yes, since we're a brand new Google education group, we are having our big kickoff. Ironically, it's this Saturday in our district. We've invited educators from all the Tri-County area, Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and we put on a free event. We're going to be, we have like front row education and Signation coming. We have breakfast and lunch planned for them. It's going to be a great way to meet and greet, kind of get the ball a little more rolling, and getting those persons that are really interested in taking and helping us and actually taking the educational group a little further. And with that, we'd also like to continue to plan out more events in other counties throughout this coming school year. But it was a great way to celebrate our success this year and to kick off the summer and just celebrate teachers in general and collaboration in education.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned collaboration and reaching out to other counties. Melissa,
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how you guys network with other GEG chapters?
Sure. So part of what we do is we've posted things to other local GEGs in California. They've done the same for with our GEG as we've started getting our brand out there more. And it's just a great way to share information and ideas with other neighboring counties and GEGs, and get these teachers and the more IT side of the house that are in our GEG. It's not just teachers. We have a lot of techs in there too, connected with others and sharing those ideas, and it's a great way to collaborate.
That's awesome. And can you talk a little bit about the benefits that you've been able to take advantage of?
Absolutely. We've recently done the leadership challenge, and so working on getting more of our teachers in Santa Rita Google Level 1 certified as we go forward, and doing that, getting them connected with other local educators through our GEG. That's been great. Getting to come up here and do something fun like this, and getting to connect with people from other GEGs, other school districts. It's been really great, and we're looking forward to the kinds of professional development opportunities this ends up leading us towards.
That's great. This question will be directed at all of you. If you could offer one piece of advice, what kind of advice would you give to someone who was wanting to start a GEG?
Well, I would say you would start with the vision. What would you like to accomplish, and where would you like to go with that? We had an idea. We just didn't have a vehicle in which to bring it. And when we found out about the Google Education Group, this was really a perfect match for us. So that's how we, and we hope to do lots of other great things with it.
I'd say one of the most important things is that you have a team of people who are interested in continuing with the endeavor. It's not just a one-off kind of, I've posted this, I've made this group, and then leave it. You really want to keep the content fresh. You want to keep networking, keep building those relationships. And so I think that'd be my top advice.
Yeah.
Rolling along, I would say that not to be afraid. Jump right in there. You know, it's education technology. Everything's constantly changing. We're always learning. If you have a question, post up there. There's someone that has the answer. But don't be afraid to go in there and collaborate and connect and get in touch, because it really is a really safe environment to do something like that.
Awesome. That's great advice for everybody. If you want more information on GEGs, you can go to g.co/GEG. And over to you, Drea.
Thanks to our GEG leaders, Rick, Melissa, and Lorraine, for the efforts that you guys are leading in gears again, just a little bit, and talk more about our Certified Trainer program. And that program is all about helping educators work with other schools and teachers to help better integrate Google tools into the classroom. So I'm going to hand over the virtual mic to David and Christina to talk more about our Certified Trainer program. David, over to you.
Thank you, Drea. My name is David. I'm a program manager here on the Google for Education team, and I am so pleased to be joined by Christina Mattis. How are you doing today, Christina?
I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Christina is a director of digital learning and enablement at San Francisco Unified, right in our backyard. And she's also a certified trainer for 5 years. So really happy to have you here. Are you ready to talk a little bit about the Certified Trainer program?
Definitely.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about the inspiration. What inspired you to become a certified trainer?
About 5-6 years ago, I was at the tail end of my doctorate program, and I knew I was going to be working with adults more and more. And so that became a pivotal point for me in my profession, knowing that I was going to work with adults and really realizing that adults are learners too. They're our students. We're all lifelong learners. And so how could I facilitate and train and hone in on my skills a bit more with that? And knowing that I was going to be using Google tools. And so I started exploring all the PD offerings that Google had that could help me build on my professional skills in that realm.
Awesome. So then you became a certified trainer, and in the certified trainer program, we try to really empower you guys. Yes. What kind of benefits did the certified trainer program provide you that you really appreciated?
I really appreciate the accountability aspect to the trainer program, in that it's not a one and done type program. There is that sense of accountability that every year we're expected to conduct a certain amount of training hours. There's a formative assessment on an annual basis to really ensure that we know the skills and that we're continuously knowing the updated features, that we're able to then provide that quality training and knowledge to our end users, that there is that level of quality assurance that I really appreciate. And knowing that Google for Education is there, making sure that we are receiving that guidance and that mentorship and that support and those awesome reminders all the time of, hey, remember, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. And that's so critical, because that's what then I bring back to my trainings, knowing that there is that need for the follow-up and that continued guidance. It's not the one training and that's it. You need to build that relationship with those who you do provide training to.
Yeah, it sounds like you've kind of grown a lot as a trainer, and once you've come in the program. Can you expand on that a little bit more and tell me, how becoming a certified trainer has allowed you to grow and improve your ability to train other educators?
Yeah, absolutely. So about 2 years ago, when the district was migrating to Google, I was in a role, in a position that allowed me to really take my skills and apply them to build out that robust vision of a training program for the district that supported not only our teachers to become more comfortable in using Google tools instructionally, but also really take a look at our central office staff and our central leadership and our site leadership to really think about how could they use these tools for productivity. And so we all use the tools and thinking about the audience, and so making sure that the training is designed to meet their needs, and really thinking about making sure that the training and facilitation is not only exciting during the training, but also relevant to their daily work.
I love this piece about adult learning and understanding your audience. It's something that we really try to hone in the trainer course, which we launched last year, the ability to develop those skills to understand what your audience wants and keep them engaged. So, being in the certified trainer program, it sounds like you've been training a lot of admin, training educators, training new people. Any other new opportunities you've kind of gotten at your district because of your certified trainer badge?
Sure, absolutely. Currently, I lead a team of trainers, and they're the ones who go out into the field and make sure that they're able to prepare our end users on whatever district systems we have, specifically Google. And so making sure that I am able to then continue modeling what good facilitation looks like for the trainer. So it's the train the trainer model for being a trainer.
Wow.
And making sure that we always remember that not only is the training relevant and exciting during that moment, but then making sure that the end user is empowered to go back and use the tools after the training. And it's that sense of empowerment that we want to make sure that we instill in our end users as well.
Oh, totally. I mean, I think train the trainer is such a powerful instrument because of your ability to not only improve your peers, but help them improve others as well. And really great. I would love to come to San Francisco Unified and check out it in action if you guys would love to have me.
You are always welcome.
Sounds good.
Absolutely, yes.
So I know we have an audience of people out there who might be considering becoming a certified trainer at their school district. Any words of wisdom for them? Like, what do you think they should be thinking about as they apply? How should they be successful once they're in the program? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, a couple of thoughts actually on that one. I definitely want to remind our trainers out there that it's not only using the tool at hand, but also thinking all what is then encompassed within using tools. So for instance, if we're thinking about training our teachers, we really want to make sure that we raise that awareness to our teachers about safeguarding our students, even living in the digital world, and making sure that we are compliant with privacy laws. And so that's an opportunity for trainers also, that it's going beyond the tool. It's developing the facilitation and the training, but then also thinking what else is involved when we do increase the knowledge to our end users. And so making sure that our students are always at the forefront of whatever we do. And then in terms of application, again, thinking about going beyond the tool. There are newcomers to using tools and there are seasoned users of the tools. And so regardless of whatever the tool might be, it could be it needs to be, how are you presenting it? Is it exciting? Is it engaging? Is it relevant? So you could train on the very basic features of something, which might be mundane to a seasoned user, but really think about how you're presenting it.
I think I hear that, and some of the more successful certified trainer applications that we've seen don't just think about the how do you use this tool, but like why would you use it? What is the pedagogical implication of using it? And we love when instructional coaches and technology specialists really teach the why in addition to the how.
And have that opportunity during the training of a make and take more than just a sit and get and passively listen.
Well, amazing. I can't wait to see some of the training that you guys do over San Francisco Unified.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for all these great insights, and really appreciate it. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Drea.
Thanks, David and Christina, for the chat on our certified trainer program. So now, last but certainly not least, our Google Certified Innovator program. And before I kick it off to Dan and Arlene to talk more about that, again, for any questions, make sure you pop that into our chat window. So our Certified Innovator program is all about supporting an exclusive group of educators on their efforts on transforming education in the classroom. And I've actually had the opportunity to work with some of our innovators, and the work, their energy, and their efforts that they're leading are quite inspiring, to say the least. So Dan and Arlene, I'm going to kick it over to you both to talk more about our Innovator program. Over to you guys.
Great, thanks, Drea. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm a program manager at Google for Education, and I'm here with Arlene, who is a Google Certified Innovator. Arlene is a teacher at Pleasanton, in Pleasanton, California, and has been an innovator for about a year now. Arlene, welcome to Google.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here with you, Dan.
I'd love to hear a little bit about, what motivated you to join the Innovator program in the first place.
All right. Well, there are a couple of things. One of the main motivators for me was trying to find my tribe, trying to connect with a community of passionate educators who are also eager learners and who really wanted to push the boundaries of what education can be through innovation and technology. And another motivator for me too was the opportunity to take an idea that I was passionate about and be able to design it, launch it, and iterate it as part of my Innovator project.
Fantastic. So now that you've been part of the program for a year now, tell us a little bit of what's been the best part?
Well, of course, getting to meet amazing innovators from around the world has been awesome, and getting to launch my project has been great as well. Last November, I had the chance to take part in the 10-year anniversary celebration for the Google Innovator program. And so since its inception in 2016, there have been over 40 academies, and there are well over 1,500 innovators now from all over the world. So it's thrilling to be a part of that celebration last November.
What a neat time to join at that kind of celebration of a full decade of innovators.
Yes, it was thrilling to be there.
That's fantastic. You mentioned something that was really exciting to you about the program was working on your own innovation project. And I'd love to hear a little more, what was that? What have you done in the last year?
Sure. Well, at the heart of my project was really trying to get kids excited about coding. Coding reaps so many benefits for young learners. And so I kicked off my my project by launching a school-wide hour of code. And then from there, it kind of burgeoned into a lunchtime coding club. And then from there, we developed an after-school robotics coding club as well. So it's been really exciting this past year to see where my project has developed and grown. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next year and being able to share what we've done at my site so that other schools at my site could replicate what we've done as well.
Are you one of these overachieving types? Because this doesn't sound like a project. This sounds like a series of portfolio of projects.
Some may say that, yeah.
And so you're working now, as far as next steps, on taking what you've done in your site and kind of sharing that more broadly throughout your district and getting that to scale.
That's correct.
So you've really been able to be kind of a leader and a source of, a spark of innovation in your school and then now more broadly in your district.
I hope so, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So as a passionate educator, you've been part of lots of professional development programs over the years. And I'd be curious to know what's been different, in your opinion, about the Innovator program compared with some of these other programs.
Right. Well, what stands out to me is the support that you get once you finish the program. As I journey through my project this year, I've had the support of my mentor. And I wanted to shout out to Lisa Highfield. She's been my mentor this year. She's been a great source of knowledge, inspiration, and she's been really a great cheerleader for me as I worked on my project this year. And also, once you leave the academy, you have the support of a whole community of innovators, and they're there to collaborate with you and share with you as well. So you really have next level support once you leave the academy.
Well, thanks for sharing that. So I imagine a lot of people who are listening in right now are wondering, is the Innovator program right for me. What would you say kind of defines the ideal applicant to the Google Certified Innovator program?
Sure. Well, aside from making, that you're a passionate educator, that you're passionate and eager about learning yourself, you want to be a risk taker. You want to just take that plunge and be an advocate of change in education. And you also want to be willing to empower teachers and students, of course, so that education can transform.
Yeah, you took some risks in terms of building out these programs, around coding and all that. Well, I am sold on your program. So if I wanted to become a Google Certified Innovator, what advice would you give me in terms of preparing and applying and going through that whole process?
Right. Well, if you have an innovative idea, and if it's even just the seed of an idea, something small or something large scale, and you want the ongoing support of a community of innovators and educators, I say go for it. Go ahead and apply for the academy. And it's okay to feel vulnerable about sharing your idea. I know that I felt that way when I was sharing mine, because in order for your idea to grow, you need to share it. And what great a place to do that with a community of innovators that could help you reach that goal, because they're dreaming just as big as you are.
So you don't have to feel like you have all of the answers right away. This can be a program that really helps accelerate your ideas, brings them to fruition with other people who are doing the same sorts of things.
That's right, Dan.
Well, Arlene, it's been so good to have you here, and we wish you all the best in the future iterations of your project.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and send it back to you, Drea.
Thanks, Dan and Arlene. And Arlene, great advice on getting started on becoming an innovator. So we're nearing the end of our fireside chat on the first ever Google PD Week. And before we move over to our Q&A part, definitely want to make sure that everyone is aware that if you're looking to get started on your certifications, we do have a few discount codes that you can take advantage of. So for those that are looking to get certified in Educator Level 1, make sure you use the discount code Google PD Week _level 1 at registration. And for those that are looking to get certified in Educator Level 2, make sure you use the code Google PD Week _L2 for the code at registration. So now I want to spend a few minutes going over the Q&A, and then we'll kick it off to the respective programs and their leads and educators to talk a little bit more about that. So our question 1 is on our Certified Trainer program. And the question is, how much training should you have already conducted before applying for the trainer program?
Yeah, we can take that one. So when applicants apply, we're not really looking for a certain number of years, because I think good trainers can come in many different years of experience, and we really are looking for the quality of applicant. And the quality of applicant is really designated by 2 things: your ability to train, meaning the soft skills that are really necessary for you to be a good coach, and then your understanding of the integration of these tools and the Google products. So I really wouldn't put a number behind it, and I've seen great trainers who've only had 1 year of training experience, and then I've also seen great trainers with 15 years of training experience. What do you think, Christina?
I think it really depends on how we define training, because I see teachers in the classroom training every day. We've got our students who we're working with and bringing them to improvement somehow. So that I see as training as well. This is just a different form of training.
Yeah, and so don't be burdened by how many years you have. Just think about, am I ready from a knowledge standpoint and from a skill standpoint? Do I know the tools really well? And am I just training a lot too? And sometimes you can pack in a lot of training in 1 year, which I know some people have done more than 12 trainings every year. So no specific number behind it. All right, back to you, Drea.
All right, David, and I think we have another two-part question for you guys. Do trainers charge for their services? And a follow-up question to that is, how can the program benefit classroom teachers?
Yeah, sure. Both really great questions. Trainers are free to use their time and their training, their valuable time, however they really wish. And they can certainly, a lot of trainers do work with their districts. They are embedded, but a lot of trainers also are so good that teachers and districts and organizations and companies want to use them for summits, for boot camps, for ISTE conferences. And so trainers definitely do work with organizations on a contract level basis. I don't know the ins and outs of how much they get paid. I try to stay out of that. But I think, it's definitely a great asset and a great brand to have to be able to improve, enhance your career. So that's one element of it.
And to that, trainers are part of a directory where if there is a local school or district that is absent of somebody who is knowledgeable to train on the tools, there is a directory that they could go to and do some outreach to some local trainers. And again, to David's point, it's really up to the trainer to determine if their level of service.
Yeah, and regarding the second question, which is how can the certified trainer benefit a classroom teacher in so many ways? We mentioned that the certified trainer is great for tech specialists and tech coaches, but really it's for anyone who loves helping other teachers integrate technology to help transform learning in the classroom. So you could very much be that classroom teacher, and then someone could be knocking on your door and asking, how do I use Google Docs to create a formative assessment? And if you're doing that, that counts as a training. You're helping your fellow teacher. So classroom teachers, if you love sharing and you love helping your fellow teachers, this program is really great for you as well.
Mm-hmm. Right. The peer coaching is phenomenal and really showcase how well colleagues can work together and provide feedback for each other and help each other grow as professionals in the field.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, back to you, Drea.
All right, thank you guys for those answers and insights into those questions. So the next question is going to be for Wes on our certified educator program. And it's a long question, so I want to make sure I'm getting it right. So the question is, school districts I've had contact with block YouTube for students. What can Google for Education do in the certification process to prepare teachers to start a conversation about unblocking YouTube? Wes?
Yeah, it's a great question and a fair one. Not one that we don't hear often. We certainly hear this. In terms of our certifications for teachers, the real purpose of that training and certification is to enable teachers to use all of our tools to their best abilities. So honestly, I wouldn't say we even push educators themselves to be taking these types of conversations to their districts. We more push our trainers to really be leaders in their hallways and leaders in their districts and school systems to have these kind of harder conversations. Now, I will say we do have some content actually about these types of topics and how to even launch these types of conversations. Within the training center, there is a module, a training course for trainers. And if you are a certified trainer, you went through it as part of your training, but it's actually free and open to anyone who wants to use it. And so I invite anyone who maybe hasn't seen some of these lessons to go take a look, particularly at two lessons, one on understanding privacy and trust, and another on just answering common questions that you might get not just from teachers, but at the district level as well. And I think there's a lot of content in there that covers our products around the terms of privacy and trust that is very useful for opening these conversations at the district level, and also to provide you content and answers to actually to make your case one way or the other, depending on your motive. So yeah, I would say that if you haven't been into our training center to take a look at some of the content we have on privacy and trust and commonly asked questions, to definitely start there first. So thanks so much.
All right, thanks Wes for insights into that. So the next question, I'm going to hand it off to Dan on our Innovator program. But the question is the trainer certification a prerequisite for becoming an innovator?
Thanks, Drea. The quick answer is no. You can be, we have folks who are just certified trainers, we have folks who are just certified innovators, and then we have some people who are both. So, you know, choose the program that best aligns with your interests and your needs.
All right, and one more other innovator question for you, Tan. Where can folks get feedback on their application to becoming an innovator?
Thanks, Drea. I'll actually turn this over to Arlene.
Sure. All right. Good question. So many aspiring innovators, they share on hashtag Google EI, and they can get feedback from other applicants that way. So hashtag Google EI, share on that hashtag, and then get some feedback from other applicants.
All right, and this is a question for Jenny and our GEG leaders. If there isn't a GEG happening in my area, where do I go? Or how, excuse me, the question is, what is happening if my local GEG isn't active?
Thanks, Drea. If your local GEG is inactive, you can contact that GEG to see if you can become more active and sort of breathe life back into that program. Or you can go to a neighboring GEG in the area and kind of become part of that active community.
You're always welcome to join Steinbeck country.
Do you guys have anything else to add? All right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Drea.
All right, and we have one more question to wrap up our Q&A part, and this is for Wes. So if I see boot camps on the event page, how do we register for those?
Another great question. So boot camps are run by our fabulous group of professional development partners. They're certified Google PD partners themselves, but they are putting on these events as partners of Google for Education. So to register for any of their events that are in your local area, just visit their website and their registration subpage, and you can sign up for boot camp events directly with the partner.
All right, so that wraps up our Q&A for our Google PD Week Fireside Chat, and that means we've come to the end. So I've had a lot of fun with the program leads and hearing from our awesome educators, trainers, and innovators on how they're using our PD programs in the classroom. We talked on everything from our Certified Educator program to our trainer, our awesome Google Educator groups, and we wrapped it up with more on our Certified Innovator program. And if you want to learn more about what we covered today, again, make sure you follow the hashtag Google PD Week and check out google.com/edu to see what else we have planned this week. So that's all we have today for our fireside chat on Google PD Week. Enjoy the rest of what we have planned. Thanks for joining us.